Hi there, Dr. Rajeev Iyer here with more secrets on how you can be successful as an international medical graduate doctor in Canada. Here, we are going to talk about can IMGs match into Canadian residency program after having multiple MCCQE1 steps. Let's do this together. You write your MCCQE1 exam, you desperately wait for the results, you get an email that your results is out. You log into your physiciansapply.ca account only to find out you have failed in your MCCQE1 exam. This can feel like your world has come to an end. All the time, money, effort, everything is gone. You have to repeat this exam all over again. It feels like there is a mountain on top of your head. You cannot apply for your residency matching. Your year of graduation gets extended by 1 or 2 more years. Just put in the comments below whether you're yet to take your MCCQE1 exam or have you already taken it. The MCCQE1 is a one-day computer-based exam that consists of 210 MCQs and 38 clinical-based scenarios. I was looking into the data of MCCQE1 and I was surprised to see 35 to 40% of IMGs fail this exam. That's a big number. I was curious. I saw how many Canadian medical graduates fail. I was also surprised to see approximately 10% of Canadian medical graduates also fail the MCCQE1 exam. So I see that many graduates are struggling to pass this exam. The Medical Council of Canada gives an option of taking this exam up to 4 times. If you fail 3 times, you have to wait for 1 year before you take the 4th attempt. They also give a 5th attempt in extreme situations. If you are an IMG, you should not be going there, because if you are going into 4th or 5th attempt, then the possibility of you matching in a Canadian residency program significantly goes down. So your MCCQE1 score is reported on a scale of 100 to 400, and in 2018, a bunch of Canadian experts decided if you get a score of more than 226, you're considered passing the exam. Your goal obviously should be to get a score of more than 226. Why are so many people failing the MCCQE exam? I started thinking about this. This is true for both IMGs and Canadian medical graduates. It's probably because people get really stressed with the exam. There might be other factors, family reasons, personal reasons. But when you think of this from a program director perspective, when you put in your application as an IMG, the program director would not know who you are. So they have to rely on your MCCQE1 scores. Let's say you unfortunately fail the MCCQE1 once. Shouldn't be a big deal because they understand it's a stressful exam. You may have had a bad day. You may have some personal reasons, health issues. But subsequently, you pass the exam. You can justify this in many different ways. Now, if you have multiple attempts, this is when it gets really tricky and makes it very challenging for you to match into a Canadian residency program. I do hope you're an IMG or a Canadian medical graduate who will clear or who has already cleared your MCCQE1 on the very first attempt and hopefully will not need this video. But the statistics does not support this. There are so many IMGs who are failing this exam. All this is so frustrating. But here is the good news. I'm going to tell you some of the things you can do in order to be successful even after you fail your MCCQE1 exams. The first thing is try to focus on your specialization. Make sure you know what specialty you need to do residency in. I see some of the IMGs try to do fishing where they try to go for this residency program, that residency program, because they think if they keep trying this or that, it makes it easier for them to match in a program. But I can tell you, you're more likely to be successful if you have a specialization of choice in your mind. Is this all making sense? How you can still be successful after having failure in your exam? This does not mean it's the end of the world. The next thing you can do, once you know your specialization of interest, is plan on writing some case reports if you have any clinical connection. If you do not have any clinical connections, focus on writing some educational reviews that hopefully you can publish with one of the Canadian consultants. Once you do all this, the next thing you do is you go to conferences in your specialization. Speak to people there. Make some connections. You never know. You might be even able to find a research job in a different hospital. So keep your options open. Now, in these conferences, you also have the opportunity to meet program directors from other hospitals. Because you would be applying for residency matching, it is important to make that personal connection with the program directors. You see how you can build yourself to be successful. The things you should not do is you should not just go behind the program directors and just tell them, can you please give me a residency spot? This is not going to work. Rather, you should approach them politely, explain them the type of work you're doing and how excited you are in doing this type of work. They get excited listening about your work and they actually do want to offer you a position. This is making sense. So far, if you found any value with this video, make sure to hit that like button below. The next step is you have to focus on your CV and put all of this together. So you build your CV, you make yourself more competitive. Because now that you have failed your MCCQE1 one or more times, you have to prove yourself in other ways. So when they see your application, when they see your package, they know they have to give you a position. If you have an opportunity of doing an observership in your specialization of choice, do take that option. If you're a medical student watching this, explore the options of clerkship because these things really help for you to be successful with matching. Finally, I have to tell you, I did have the opportunity to speak to one of the IMGs who had failed multiple times, and he said although it took him a lot more years to match as compared to others who did not fail, he eventually was able to match into a residency program of his choice, and he's now in a fantastic leadership position. The point I'm making is, even though you fail your exams to begin with, in the long run, this is not going to affect you. Of course, you want to be a bright student and not keep failing exams because you have to build your knowledge, but I'm giving you hopes so you don't feel rejected even though you failed the exam. Is this making sense? The next thing I recommend you watch is this video on how you can be successful in your MCCQ exam on your first attempt. I have given you tips and tricks based on what is currently prevalent about reading materials and other things. So make sure you check this video out, and any questions you post in the comments below. I try to get back to you all very soon. If you're following my video, you do know I respond back pretty quickly. So do post those questions and make sure you get them answered. Take care, stay safe. I will talk to you soon. The MCCQE1 is a one-day exam. This is a computer-based. The MCCQE1 is a one-day computer-based exam. I see that IMGs and I see that many graduates are struggling to pass this exam.